3 rounds of discussion with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first from a Zoom call in Columbia, South Carolina, Matthew, aka the Unbreakable Spirit. And his opponent from a Zoom call in Atlanta, Georgia, Daniel, aka the Executioner. Take it away, Matthew.
Hello, thank you, Jesse, and hello, everyone. Welcome to At Odds with the Unbreakable Spirit.
And I am the Executioner, Daniel Travis.
Jeez, I didn't even get whatever. I am Matthew, aka the Unbreakable Spirit. My co-host was an ass and already introduced himself.
Whatever.
And we got a great show for you today with some hashtag bad news, which
Again.
seems to be a recurring theme on this show. Why?
Because WWE doesn't know how to handle pro wrestling.
More on that in a minute. But yes, we're going to talk about the recent releases.
Of course.
We're also going to talk about Roman Reigns versus The Rock, and if Dwayne is going to be at Survivor Series this year.
Plus our predictions for Survivor Series.
Also, I'm going to call this our first ever prediction battle. Raw versus SmackDown, brand supremacy, whatever you want to say. Who will win, Raw or SmackDown?
The same shit, just different day of the week.
Yeah, literally this Sunday. Let's start off with the releases.
Of course. And of course, WWE decides to release more people. What a surprise.
Yes, the releases that I heard about are John Morrison, Jackson Riker, Tegan Knox, Drake Maverick, and Hit Row.
Okay, let's talk about the Hit Row thing, because if you ask me, that is probably the weirdest release I have heard, and the one I'm probably more disappointed about, considering that these guys, besides for their time in NXT, were debuted, had previews for the draft, got drafted on the draft, and then in expended like 2 weeks, all of them are gone.
Yeah.
They only had one match against jobbers. That's it.
That is true. Maybe WWE had nothing for them. As for people like John Morrison, that's surprising. He was putting bangers on a weekly basis.
I mean, okay, this is something that might be considered a hot take, but I don't really give a damn. If you ask me, John Morrison, in his time in WWE, should have been at least won one WWE championship in his second time in the company.
All right, that might be a hot take, but I actually somewhat agree with you on that. And at the Rumble, he should have done the trophy gimmick, do something crazy to stay in the match.
Yes.
But Tegan Knox, I think it might actually be safer for her outside of the ring, considering she's busted her knee multiple times.
Yeah, right. She was the woman that returned. That, if memory serves me right, she was a part of the Man Classic, broke her knee, returned, and then her best friend turned on her and then broke her other knee.
Yeah, so Team Kick was dissolved at War Games, which is next month.
Yay.
And we also have Drake Maverick. Apparently he wasn't a surprise to people.
Even though he was on even though he was on TV every single week.
Yeah, Jackson Riker had been away for a while, so not really that surprised. Maybe Gunner will return to Impact Wrestling. Who knows?
I mean, because, yeah, I have to say is that Tegan Knox, I am kind of surprised, but to be honest, the Hit Row ones, it's just. I learned this earlier today. There have been, in the past couple months, 6 former North American champions that have been fired.
Yikes. But I will say Tegan Knox was, as you probably know, was drafted to Monday Night Raw and had made 0 appearances since being drafted.
No. She was drafted to she was a part of a tag team with
yes, and that got split up in the draft.
Yeah, and then nothing.
And then she disappeared off the face of the planet.
Because this is gonna be a major hot take, but what is the point of honestly, what is the fucking point of a contract with WWE when you could just be released for any moment for just being on TV every single week?
Yeah, I mean, that doesn't really make a lot of sense.
I mean, to be honest, you're just basically handing employees to literally any wrestling company out there. I mean, hell,
except for Ring of Honor, because they're rebranding themselves.
Yes. But still, you're basically handing AEW, like, here's all of the talent. Just take them, because you could, like, with how many wrestlers have been...
If John Morrison goes to AEW, do you think he'll be Johnny Elite?
That is a good question. I think so. But this is another thing. But this is something else. I think with how many wrestlers have been released, if you literally got another billionaire, you could start another wrestling organization.
Yeah, you probably could. And like,
oh my god.
Who knows what? But that's part of what you're saying is a bad thing. I feel like it's a stereotypical part of the allure of wrestling that anything can happen. Am I saying that this is a good thing?
Hell no.
Hell no. In fact, it's terrible. People are unemployed during a pandemic. Admittedly, they're like millionaires probably, but still.
Due to budget, again, due to, yet again, the BS reason was due to, you know what.
I don't think we know the reason for these.
Budget cuts.
Seriously?
Seriously.
And apparently I learned this after we talked about our first round of talking about releases, the one with Nia Jax. This is going to be happening every 6 months.
How many wrestlers are they?
So be on the lookout for that. We're going to take a break real quick. And we are back. And now we're going to talk about the Tribal Chief's appearance on the Tonight Show.
Starring Jimmy Fallon.
Thank you for clarifying which one. I don't watch it, so I don't really know the host nor care.
Of course you do.
Where the Tribal Chief was asked, is The Rock going to show up at Survivor Series? And he was like, I don't know.
That's not what I've heard.
That's not what I've heard, but hey, I debuted at Survivor Series. And like, if anyone's to promote like a WWE pay-per-view coming up these days, you gotta go with Roman Reigns. Like, not because he's the Tribal Chief, but he is one of the hottest, no homo, stars in WWE.
Yeah. Okay, me personally, would I like to see Roman Reigns, the Tribal Chief, a man who has basically been dominating WWE for the past year, go up against the Brahma Bull? Yes.
Yeah, That would be amazing.
My prediction is I think the only reason The Rock should show up, whether it's by appearing on the Titantron or actually showing up, I think, and this is just my prediction, that this is just a guess, honestly, forget a prediction, that The Rock shows up after his match against Big E, and that be the beginning that leads to their Mania maybe next year match.
Yeah, because people have been wanting that for a long time. And honestly, like, they could probably see that happen on, like, the 2K video games, but with the release in 2019 of 2K20, yeah, we don't talk about that.
Yeah. So tell me, Matthew, do you want to see the Brahma Bull versus the Tribal Chief?
I will answer it if you promise not to say it doesn't matter what I think.
I can't guarantee you that.
Well,
but please go ahead.
It's a dream match. I'll say that. Like, it's a dream match for many people. I would love it to be like a Samoan tribal showdown.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
I think what would make this match more interesting is if not only was it for the WWE Universal Championship, but what if this is how, what if it's title, what if like it's such a heated rivalry that Dwayne Johnson put its title versus career and Roman Reigns ends The Rock's career at WrestleMania.
That would be great because think about it. It'll be the Tribal Chief versus the most electrifying man in all of entertainment, not just sports entertainment. He's been calling himself the most electrifying man in all of entertainment for a while now, and people keep forgetting that he started in sports entertainment.
Yeah.
And with this being the 25th anniversary of The Rock's debut, it's likely. I feel like it'd be a shame for him not to happen. The Undertaker showed up for his 30th anniversary of his debut.
And his retirement.
And retired at that same pay-per-view.
Which, I have to say, is just kind of brilliant. If I do say so myself. But, because, just this is just what I'm thinking. With how good Roman Reigns has been since becoming the Tribal Chief, and especially with how good Roman Reigns is now on the mic, ooh boy.
Thanks to Paul Heyman.
Yes. Or
like when Roman started out, people, I don't know if you know this, he had a completely different gimmick in NXT. He had an expensive watch, and he asked the interviewer, you know what time it is? Roman time.
Well, I think, Matthew, I think the reason why Roman Reigns' Tribal Chief gimmick does so well is I don't think there's a script for him anymore. It's just like,
I doubt it. But, like, then in NXT, he was a mute, or the Shield, Gen 1 Shield at least. He was a mute, basically. Like, the best promo he had said during the heel is, I got something to say. We're done.
Yeah, you know, I think with this being Roman Reigns versus The Rock, I think it would be a good match because not only are they both part of the NOI wrestling dynasty, but also because they both debut at Survivor Series. The Rock debuted 25 years ago, and Roman Reigns debuted 9 years ago at that exact event. For those of you
that don't know, I have been alive the same amount of years as the Rock when The Rock debuted. I know I was stumbling over my words, but The Rock debuted in 1996 in November. I was born January of the same year.
Okay, yeah, but So, final thoughts. Do you think we will have this match, or do you think it will happen the following year at WrestleMania Hollywood?
You can bet your candy ass it's most likely gonna happen in Hollywood.
All right.
We're gonna take a quick break. And we're back. And speaking of Survivor Series in the last segment, it's this Sunday. Shock of all shocks.
Yay!
Now, I don't know if this is coming out on Sunday or Saturday. So
It doesn't matter what day it's coming out.
we're going to do our first ever prediction battle.
Yes.
Where, and I suggest we have a punishment for this. How about you, Travis?
I had a different idea what the punishment should be, but I guess it doesn't matter what I think.
Well, I'm just saying a punishment in general. How about, and you were talking about this earlier, we do an SNL embarrassing stated address or whatever. I don't watch SNL. I don't know what it's called.
It's basically, here, let me explain. It's basically where Colin Jost and the other guy basically write jokes to each other and they read it live on the air and they have no idea what the other person wrote.
And I don't think we're going to be able to cut that burp out of the recording. Oops.
Oh well. Move on.
Yeah, this is an unscripted podcast. Anything can happen.
So
But,
yeah. Let's
so
get.
we can actually sum up this in like one sentence.
Raw versus SmackDown.
Raw versus SmackDown. Who's
I
gonna
just
win?
said that.
Yeah. But I added the who's gonna win
part. Yeah. So yeah, I think me personally, I think SmackDown is going to win this, maybe only
because they have Samoan tribal mana.
That too, and second reason is they're on the bigger network.
Yeah, true. And I guess if you're repping blue, I'll bleed red for this and go Raw.
Yes, but okay. To be honest, let me ask you this, Matthew. Out of all the matches, all the champion, traditional Survivor Series, I have one important question.
Yeah.
This is, since Sami Zayn got removed from Team...
Was it Sami who got removed or Jeff?
Yeah, Sami.
Okay.
Sami Zayn got removed. My big question is, who the hell is going to replace...
And we've talked about this guy before, but what if it's a crazy twist and Solo Sikoa debuts and becomes a part of the SmackDown Survivor Series team?
Ooh!
And then turns heel and joins the Bloodline.
Ooh!
Like that's just pure speculation. I doubt it's going to happen. But in a dream world, that would be amazing.
No. You know what would be even more cool? If he was the mystery person and then just decimated the entirety of Team Raw by himself.
Yeah. But like, I seriously could see that guy being a part of the Bloodline. Especially since that's the brother of Jimmy and Jay.
And that's a fact. No, like legitimately, that's a fact.
Yeah. We get it. Please, like, don't make that your catchphrase. That would be very annoying.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what you think. I know where you were going with that.
Anyway, but yeah,
we would have had like 3 of the currently employed 6 Samoan superstars debuted at Survivor Series.
Here's my B.
Roman Reigns and Solo would make 3.
Here's my question. What out of all the Champion v Champions match, what of these matches do you think is going to be the show stealer?
Honestly, Big E's actually sort of been putting on bangers recently, so I think we might have a good match between Big E and Roman.
Yes, but I feel like that is gonna be the match I agree that that's going to be a banger of a match, but I also have this thought. I feel like with what Randy Orton said on Raw, I feel like they are slowly setting up for Randy Orton to do the most obvious thing of Randy Orton.
Well, he already betrayed Riddle once, man.
I mean,
Like,
Riddle
chill
should
out.
honestly just be expecting it,
And
honestly.
yeah,
Oh,
but
wait, this is Matt Riddle.
Riddle was too high to realize that.
True.
Like, WWE signed him when they knew he was a pothead.
All right. So here's your final thoughts. But what do you think? Who do you think's gonna win more, Raw or SmackDown? What are like if they actually keep track of the victories?
Which, if they don't, we will. I will literally make a note on my phone to keep track to make sure who wins.
Okay, but yeah, I think that
And I will say that if there's a tie by the end of the night, for the record, people, the Execution and I don't really watch the pre-show.
Because
the
who honestly gives a damn about the pre-show?
Tiebreaker.
Because let's be real, folks. Who honestly gives a damn about the pre-show?
Yeah, because there are like what 4 champion v champion matches.
Yes.
If there is a tie, well, there's 4 Raw versus SmackDown matches.
Yes.
If there's a tie, we will have a tiebreaker involving the pre-show.
I am fine with that.
We have to get our editor Jesse to tell us the match for that or something, and then we just take a random guess.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right, so I'm repping red. You're repping
blue.
In blue. Those are our guesses, and next week one of us will have to say an embarrassing segment. But that is the show for today. Thank you for joining us.
Hopefully you turn in.
We'll be back next week with more debates and disagreements. But until then, the Executioner and the Unbreakable Spirit will still be at odds.